This isn't a witch hunt. This is karma in high heels getting served by the DOJ. You guys gotta check this video out, man.
Meanwhile, the DOJ is opening a formal criminal probe into New York Attorney General Letitia James over suspected mortgage fraud. Andrew Cherkasky is a former federal prosecutor and joins us now. And Andrew, James is saying basically that the law is on her side. Listen here.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side.
But a grand jury in the Eastern
Fearless? You should be afraid. A grand jury just opened up a probe into your mortgage fraud. This ain't campaign season, sweetheart. This is federal court.
District of Virginia disagrees. Andrew, how much trouble is she in?
Unlimited.
Well, I think she's taking a play out of Donald Trump's playbook. You just deny everything and claim that it's some sort of conspiracy. The problem for Letitia James is this is no conspiracy at all. The evidence is pointing straight at her for making false statements, for getting mortgages and engaging in home buying processes that seem to have been a clear violation of the law. Now, that has to be deeply investigated. Steps that are need to be taken to ensure that responsible law enforcement tactics are done here, and that it's not targeted at her because of her position, but rather because of the facts that support it. So I think she's in big trouble, and I think that the people of New York need to not be paying for that.
Unpack, if you will, so our viewers understand exactly what it is that she did wrong with this property, it appears, in Virginia in order to obtain a more favorable loan.
Well, there are two primary issues. One, that she listed this as intended to be a private personal residence as opposed to it being a rental property. There's different interest rates that come along with that type of election. And that's exactly what she went after Donald Trump for, that he was indicating false matters on his real.
That's mortgage fraud 101. She lied to get better interest rates. The same thing she accused Donald Trump of doing. She's the one cooking the books.
Real estate documents. The other issue is that she had a building that had an occupancy for 5 units, but she claimed it had only 4 units, something that gave her beneficial treatment because of the smaller size of it, or the claimed smaller size. Both of those have serious financial benefits to the consumer who puts that on the forms, and ultimately, if that's not true, it amounts to fraud, and again, is very similar to the type of misrepresentations on mortgage or real estate documents to lead to a windfall for the owner that she complained against Donald Trump for. So this is, I think, karma coming back to bite her, and maybe is why she knew to look into Donald Trump in the first place.
Well, and as you point out, you're raising the issue of karma. She was, of course, the lead prosecutor that went after President Trump, and now is having to appeal for paying millions of dollars.
She went after Trump with everything she had, and now it's coming back around. The same exact legal standards she demanded for him are about to be used against her. You can't weaponize the law and expect to stay clean. Letitia James built her brand on taking down Trump, but now she may have built her own indictment. This ain't politics no more. It's poetic justice. Now let's dive a little deeper.
Now, y'all, we have an explosive report today that the FBI has opened a formal criminal probe into New York Attorney General Letitia James over alleged mortgage fraud. The New York Post reports the FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in Albany have launched a criminal investigation into mortgage fraud claims against New York Attorney General Letitia James. A source familiar with the probe told the Post. Now, we talked about this. Just several days ago.
She tried to make Trump her punching bag, guys. I know I can't stress it enough. I'm gonna keep hitting this nail right on the head, because she tried to make Trump a punching bag, and it turned out that Trump got in there, man, and he fought back. He fought back, and now she's the one being investigated. Isn't that crazy how that just all unfolds? It's almost irony. Let's keep going.
There was a little hint, little preview of this. And when I finish with this video, I'm going to run right into the content from that video. So whoever doesn't have the context, you'll have the context, okay? So the investigation was first reported by the Albany Times Times-Union follows a request that the Justice Department investigate James, sent by Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Pulte to the Justice Department last month. New York's Northern District, where Pulte's referral was steered, is led by U.S. Attorney John Sarcone III, an ally of President Trump. Representative Elise Stefanik, who represents the district where the investigation was initiated, commended the FBI and Albany prosecutors. Quote, "The investigation into Letitia James is a vital step toward justice," the Republican Congresswoman said in a statement. "I will continue to fight to expose New York corruption, protect constitutional rights, and hold those failed Democrat leaders in New York accountable." Pulte's letter alleged James, quote, falsified records, quote, to obtain favorable loans on a home she purchased in 2003 in Virginia and a Brooklyn brownstone she's owned since 2001. The Democrat also allegedly indicated the Virginia home would be her principal residence. Y'all, I'm kind of laughing because isn't this kind of laughable? I mean, it's serious what she's alleged to have done, but it's laughable that she would have done it, right? I mean, she's the attorney general of one of the biggest states in the whole.
Guys, that is huge political irony. You know, and then you go to the Brooklyn brownstone, you know, it's 5 units, you got it listed as 4. You're just all just trying to get around stuff. Man,
She prosecutes this, y'all.
Bonnie Willis, you're
Anyway,
next.
the Democrats also allegedly indicated that indicated the Virginia home would be her. The Democrat, that's James, also allegedly indicated the Virginia home would be her principal residence. Y'all listen, so the FBI is on the case. Anybody who, first of all, if you're like, what happened? We're about to flow into the video where we break it all down. It's just gonna all be explained. And also, if you just like watching my excellent videos, you can watch this one. We're gonna play it back. So y'all, the FBI is on.
1 second, guys. I got a real question. And if you watched the video this far, please hit the comment section. But do you think Letitia James is texting Fonnie Willis like, "Girl, delete them texts. Make sure you and Nathan Wade delete y'all texts, or switch to a encrypted app, Signal or something like that"? Do you think that her and Fonnie Willis are having a conversation like that? How do you think that's going? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Fonnie Willis is next. I'm sorry to say it. You can sit there and I'm trying to knock down a brown woman or black woman. You can sit there and say it. This isn't the race game. We're way past that. It wasn't a race game when they were going after Trump. Come on, it wasn't a race game when they were going after him, the white man in power. What? Come on, I'm just saying. You gotta call a spade when you see one. But hey, Bonnie Willis is next. You seen it here first. Let's keep going.
On the case. Now we're going to flow into the video, which previewed that this was about to happen.
Of, okay, well, I made a misrepresentation in document A, but then I made a different representation in document B. I get it. I think it does cloud the issue, but I'm not so sure that it absolves her from the initial initial misstatement.
Yeah. And again, the question was her stating that, I mean, it just seems to me so incredibly dumb that it's hard to believe, right? That the sitting attorney general of New York would list her principal residence in Virginia, knowing that she's stepping into a beehive, right? I mean, you know, a hornet's nest, whatever you want to call it, with regard to Trump. I mean, it's I guess I'm not quite yet giving her the benefit of the doubt because it seems to me so ridiculous that you would think you could get away with that.
Look, I don't know what her intention was when she signed that power of attorney claiming that this home in Virginia was going to be her principal residence, but you know, everything happens in context, right, Dan? I mean, the context of that document, it's 2023. Joe Biden is the president. 2023, it's in her mind, Joe Biden is going to be reelected president, and she's doing all that she can in 2023 to prevent Donald J. Trump from being elected president. So, and it's in Virginia. You know, who's going to be looking at this document? Who's going to be even aware that she's buying this home in Virginia? So again, I don't know what her intentions were, but I'm pointing to the atmospherics that surrounded, her conduct in 2023. Um, if she indeed did sign that power of attorney, which it looks like she did, where she attested that this was going to be her personal residence, perhaps she thought that it was never going to be uncovered. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about this second document that her office is citing.
But as you saw in that well-crafted and hilarious coming up section right at the beginning of this video, some people are saying that they have sources saying that subpoenas are going out to mortgage companies. Y'all, once the subpoenas start rolling, once the mortgage companies, the documents start.
And you guys have heard me say it before. Once those things come out, once you start calling people's parents, calling people's best friends, and you're offering money too. Come on. Hey, people might even lie, make up a lie, but I don't think these people gotta make up a lie to be searched at this point because Letitia James, karma is real. And it turns out you happen to be the person that karma's going after at this point in time. Karma is real, man, and I'm telling you, those subpoenas, once they start doing that, they're liable to do anything and find anything. She might have a little Nathan Wade. I don't know. Let's keep going.
start being produced, y'all know that this is real. So there are people saying that the subpoenas are going out, and Letitia James has already hired her attorney, which we're going to talk about in a second. But the subpoenas are going out, apparently. Let's take a look.
I believe the Attorney General of New York is going to get charged by the feds here criminally. I think this is going to be a big deal. I think it is a case that is being undercovered right now, even in the right-wing media. I've been surprised that this hasn't gotten more attention.
Also, and guys, the person that she hired to be her attorney is no other than the Hunter Biden attorney. It doesn't get worse than that. Wait a minute, man. What is going on? This spider web, this swampy spider web that we got right here, man. You can't make this up.
I heard from intelligence sources today out of New York, Eric, that subpoenas have gone out to mortgage companies, insurance companies, and title companies regarding Tish James. Subpoenas have been sent out now to the companies to brought them in under oath to go before a grand jury. So there's movement, is what the story is. I just got last night.
Okay.
There's movement.
Yeah, it's going to take some time, to roll it out. But
now, as I mentioned previously, Letitia James has already hired her attorney. We've talked about that in previous videos. He is an attorney who has represented Hunter Biden previously. So interesting choice of attorney. But the interesting thing they did not know at the time of this podcast is, yes, the New York State Attorney General's office is apparently paying for Letitia James's attorney, y'all. I mean, that's the reporting, okay? That she is not paying out of pocket, but that the New York State Attorney General's office, not her campaign, but her office, apparently is paying for her attorney. So let's take a look at some problems that may cause for her. As a top lawyer in New York, she should have already known this, though.
And if she were to be prosecuted, obviously she would have to have a private attorney, right? There would be no government protection that would pay for her attorney.
Well, that's an interesting question. There's I don't know whether it's illustrative or not, but there's a civil lawsuit right now against Andrew Cuomo, brought by the state trooper, the former state trooper. I don't know if she still is a trooper or not, but
that was for his actions as governor.
That's correct. That was,
right.
But my point is, under public officers law in New York State, right now he is being covered under the public officers law for the cost of his defense. Now, does she have? And by the way, curiously, the official who initially decides whether or not the public officers law provides the cost of defense is the Attorney General. I think it's a stretch because the allegations here are such that, how does she connect her official duties to these allegations? So I do think that she needs to, if she's going to properly manage this as I mentioned a moment ago, I think it's a mistake that she's using the resources of her office at the moment. But if she's going to properly manage this, she's going to need independent outside counsel.
Karma doesn't skip a beat, man. And Letitia James, you went from the AG trying to go after Trump to now the law coming after you itself. Oh my God, that is a weird turn of events. Imagine being that person, making and putting someone in jail to now you might be, you know, on the other side or on the other side of those bars. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this pretty quick video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And as always, let me know at the Yak 2. We're out.